right, shalom. Welcome back. My name is Austin, and you're watching the 144 Kids Shabbat recap on the Kids Action Bible Show. Now, check this out. If you're new here, you can check out 144kids.org. It has all of our resources and everything that we are about our ministry on 144kids.org.com. So check that out. And now let's get back to the video. Roll it. All right, so right now we're back in our series talking about the sanctuary, the tabernacle, the place that Israel went to gather and commune and be there with the Father, with the Most High in the wilderness after they were led out of Egypt. And so this place is so important because it gives us a picture of what it looks like in the heavenly realm, in the Shemayim. And so we're going to learn more about different objects, structures, things that are built and created inside of the tabernacle. And so thank you for joining in on this sanctuary series. Let's get back to it. So today we're going to learn a little bit more about the curtains on the tabernacle, as well as some of the structure, the inner beams on the tabernacle. And so that's what we're focused on today. You can probably see it down here to my left. These are some of the things that we're going to take a look at. And so we're super excited to dive into this today. Now, vocabulary. The word I want you to focus on today is tenon. Tenon itself means an axle, or it means an axle, but the original Hebrew word yad could be used as axle or a hand. But in today's context, the word tenon is referring specifically to an axle type of piece. And you'll see that as we read through some of the structures that the Father has Israel build as they're constructing this tabernacle, when they're constructing the sanctuary. So this should be good. Now, this is super cool. Take a look at this. So if you were here at the beginning of the series, you could tell in the beginning of Exodus, we saw that, not the beginning of Exodus, after they entered into the wilderness. So the Father asked Israel to donate all of the items that are currently on the screen right now to help with the construction of his holy place, the sanctuary. And so we see gold, silver, bronze, blue, red, and blue, scarlet, and purple yarn, linen, goat's hair, ram skin dyed red, badger skin. Skin in the badger sounds crazy. Acacia wood, oil, spices, and stones. And so today, when we're diving into Exodus chapter 26, we are going to see gold. We're going to see silver. We're going to see copper. We're going to see the threads, the linen, the goat's hair, the ram skin, the badger skin. We're going to see all those things used just constructing the formation beams, as well as the curtains and the tent on the outside of the temple. So this should be awesome. Also, before we go any further, I have something. 1 second. All right, here it goes. This message is from Xavier from Kentucky. He said, Joe, this is for you. He said, Joe, nice afro. It's swag. Have a good night. Did I say it right? Have a good night. Have a good night. Shalom.
You can do it, Joe. I believe in you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh!
Why can't I grab it?
Joe!
Yo, grab it with your tongue!
I did mine, but I accidentally used my hand, so I'm not gonna do it.
Joe! What are you doing?
Xavier, we love it. Thank you so much for being a part of the Kids Action Bible Show family. And I love that you watch these videos. Please continue to watch these videos, and I hope that the Father blesses you. Shalom, brother. I love it. Okay, let's get back to the study. So let's read together Exodus chapter 26, verse 1 through 5. All right, so let's read this together. Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine woven linen in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. With artistic designs of cherubim, you shall weave them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain should be 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have the same measurements. Now 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make loops of blue yarn on the edge of the curtain, on the edge of the curtain, on the selvage of the one set. And likewise, you shall do on the other edge of the other curtain of the second set. 50 loops you shall make in the one curtain, and 50 loops you shall make on the edge of the curtain that is in the end of the second set. The loops may be clasped to one another, and you shall make 50 clasps of gold, and couple the curtains together with the clasps, so that it may be one tabernacle. You shall also make curtains of goat hair. Curtains of goat. Pause real quick. If you have curtains of goat hair, please email us. I need to know who you are. More importantly, does Costco sell them? Does Walmart sell them? Where can you buy goat hair curtains? Do you make them themselves? I have so many questions. So if you have goat hair curtains, call me, please. That sounds fantastic. A great conversation starting in the living room. I'm sorry. Let's get back to Yah's word. So to be a tent over the tabernacle, you shall make 11 curtains. So 11 curtains make up this tent. This is kind of big. This is huge. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. And the 11 curtains shall have the same measurement. And you shall couple 5 curtains by themselves and 6 curtains by themselves, and you shall double over the 6 curtain at the forefront of the tent. All right, now before we go too far, let's double back. I want to take a look at some things. Let's highlight some things that we read, because I know we read a lot of measurements, and we read a lot of things that have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Directions and designs and quantities. So I just want to make sure that we don't let it go over our head, because it's easy to just read it and go, I'm sleepy. No. This is important. This is so cool. So check this out. Let's go back to those first 5 verses, right?
YAHUAH, we love you. YAHUAH, we need you. You are.
All right, if you're learning colors, numbers, or ABCs, but you're looking for biblical Torah-based resources, what I have here will blow your mind. It's my favorite thing right now. My daughters love it. This is from YAHUAH's Learning Library. We have these awesome books that teach you colors, numbers, and the alphabet, right? We have Israel's ABCs. We have the colors of the Hebrew world. And we have Exploring Numbers 1, 2, 3. This is created by my brother Otis's wife, Acacia. She did a great job on the art. It's very simple, it's very clean, and I love the artwork in this book. Right now, my daughter is 2 years old, and she is learning a lot of these things: numbers, colors, ABCs. And so if you're looking for this resource, you can click the link below and head over to the websites for YAHUAH's Learning Library. And if you guys are interested in this resource, again, check the link in the description. Tap in. There's no coupon code. We're not getting any kickback for any of this. It's just a great resource that we feel like everybody should be aware of. So, la da 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 da. Hey, what are you doing? I'm sin. What? I'm sin. I don't get it. Crouching at the... Read this verse. Oh. You get it? That's dumb. So we see here that there are going to be artistic designs of cherubim. Cherubim, that's interesting. Artistic designs of cherubim, which shows us that in the heavenly realm, as you know, if you read scripture, the Father of the mercy seat, he's always in between these cherubim. They're almost like his bodyguards. So it's really cool that he's incorporating that in his tabernacle, the one on earth, because as above, so below, right? What's in heaven shall be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? So I think that's super, super cool. And I love how many curtains there are. There are about 5 curtains here, and they're not just coupled together with a safety pin, they're coupled together with some gold, with some bling. He's not sparing anything on this tabernacle. He's saying, this is for me, we're gonna go all out. Another cool word that I learned from reading these first 5 verses is selvage. Selvage, that just means the end or the edge of something. So I thought that was super cool. Now, the other verses 5 through 9, this is awesome because you can also see those clasps of gold, right? And it talks about these 11 curtains, and it gives the size of these curtains. But the goat hair, I've already commented on it. That blows my mind. So this is really, really cool, seeing all these different components in scripture. The more that we learn about his holy place, the more that we learn about how specific he is and the things that he wants and the things he doesn't want. It helps us understand who we're serving, the Elohim that we serve. And I think it also informs our relationship with him. So I think these things are super cool. There's nothing in scripture that is there by accident. And so we just need to take some time and have some patience and really digest. Why did he say this? Why did he tell Israel to do this thing and be this specific? And I think it's because if it matters to the Father, like, it should matter to us. All right, so let's pick up verse 9 through 14. Check it out. So it says, make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain as the outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. And you shall make 50 bronze clasps. So we had gold, but now we moved on to bronze. Put the clasps into the loops and couple the tent together that it may be one. The remnant that remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back of the tabernacle, and a cubit on one side and a cubit on the other side of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle, on this side and on that side to cover it. You shall also make a covering of ram's skin dyed red for the tent, and a covering of badger skins above that. We got goat hair curtains. We got badger skin coverings. What is going on? Has anyone seen a badger? I don't even know what. I gotta put a picture of a badger on the screen. What does this look like?
Privileged. Another one. Last one.
Oh, those are some fierce creatures. Good luck to the person who had to catch that thing. And then also ram skin dyed red. I wonder why he had Israel dye the ram skin red for the tabernacle. That's interesting. All right, now we read a lot of measurements and schematics and blueprints. Let's take a look at this video that gives us an idea. Now understand, I don't know why I gotta say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. These aren't perfect replicas, and this doesn't fully give us the full idea of what this could have looked like, right? There's a lot of people who have different opinions on how big or small a cubit really is. So take this with a grain of salt. But for those who are visual, for those that need something to start with that ties them into the scripture, let's watch this video together as they have done an animated 3D model of what they believe that the tabernacle is supposed to look like in all of the components, specifically what we just read from verse 1 all the way down to verse 15. So let's watch this together, or verse 14. Anyway, you get it. Let's watch it.
Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine woven linen and blue and purple and scarlet thread, with artistic designs of cherubim. You shall weave them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits, and every one of the curtains shall have the same measurements. 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. The other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make loops of the yarn on the edge of the curtain on the outer edge of one set, and likewise you should do on the outer edge of the other curtain of the second set. 50 loops you shall make in the one curtain, and 50 loops you shall make on the edge of the curtain that is on the end of the second set, that the loops may be clasped to one another. And you shall make 50 clasps of gold, and couple the curtains together with the clasps, so that it may be one tabernacle. You shall also make curtains of goat hair to be a tent over the tabernacle. You shall make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, the width of each curtain 4 cubits, and the 11 curtains shall all have the same measurements. And you shall couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and you shall double over the 6th curtain at the forefront of the tent. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. And you shall make 50 bronze clasps. Put the clasps into the loops and couple the tent together, that it may be one. The remnant that remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. And a cubit on one side and a cubit on the other side of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side to cover it. You shall also make a covering of ram skins dyed red for the tent, and a covering of badger skins above that.
All right, that was awesome. That helps us get a mental picture of what it looks like. So now that we've gotten that down, let's take a look more about the formation and the structure. We just watched the curtains. Let's take a look at the formation and the structure of these beams that are in the front of the tabernacle. And we're going to read that from chapter 15, starting at verse 15. So let's read together. It says, "And for the tabernacle, you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing upright. 10 cubits shall be the length of the board, and a cubit and a half shall be the width of the board. 2 tenons." Ha ha! I told you, pay attention. There it is. Axles. 2 tenons shall be in each board for binding one to another. Thus you shall make for all the boards of the tabernacle, and you shall make the boards for the tabernacle 20 boards for the south side. You shall make 40 sockets of silver under 20 boards, and 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. There it is. There's that axle piece. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there shall be 20 boards and 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. So we see one board has 2 sockets next to it, and the sockets are made of silver, and obviously the boards are made of acacia wood. So this is really cool. But remember, this is why we had that vocab word of the day, tenons. We can see that, and it said it right here. If you look at this burgundy line, it says the 2 tenons shall be for what? It shall be in each board to bind one next to the other. So the tenons, their job was to connect something. So that's cool. We learned something today. Here we go. The tabernacle westward, you shall make 6 boards, and you shall also make 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle. They should be coupled together at the bottom, and they shall be coupled together at the top by 1 ring. Therefore, it shall be for both of them. And so these back boards in the corner are going to be coupled together at the top and at the bottom. They shall be for the 2 corners. So there shall be 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And you shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the side of the tabernacle for the far side westward. Interesting. So we see acacia wood being used to help put these boards up there, and they're bars, right? That's super cool. Now the bars are passed through the midst of the boards from end to end. Now you shall overlay the bars with gold. Here we go. We're wasting no expense on Yah's house. You hear me? Make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the tabernacle according to its pattern which you were shown on the mountain. You shall make a veil of woven blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine woven linen. It shall be woven with an artistic design of cherubim. This is so crazy. Remember, as you saw, like later in the Brit Hadashah in the New Testament, it talks about the veil being torn, and we see right now the Father instructing Israel to make this veil. But this veil had blue, purple, scarlet thread. It was fine linen, and it had an artistic design of cherubim, which is interesting. That before you pass through the veil to get to the most holy place, the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh of Kodesh, you would have to pass by this artistic cherubim, which I'm pretty sure was a physical symbol of something that was spiritually present. You shall hang it on the 4 pillars of the acacia wood overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, and upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the clasps. Then you shall bring the ark of the testimony in there behind the veil. The ark of the testimony belongs behind the veil. That is where the Holy of Holies is. That is where his presence is. Pass through the cherubim. You need to make sure you're spiritually clean so you don't die. And then when you get in there, that is where the ark of the testimony is, the mercy seat. And there's more cherubim on top of the ark. This place is like a spiritual safe house. This is awesome. And he says right here, the veil should be a divider between the holy place and the most holy. So the tabernacle is already holy, but the most holy place, that's where his presence rests. Not everybody can go in there. Actually, nobody can go in there except the high priest on the Day of Atonement, also known as Yom Kippur. So this place was sacred and it was important. Only once a year. This is interesting. Now you shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy. The mercy seat, the bema that sits between the cherubim. This would be on top of the ark of the covenant, ark of the testimony, and that goes in the most holy. Now, if you watched our atonement series, if you watched us talking about the ark of the covenant, we covered this. Go back and watch this video to learn a little bit more about that. Now, you shall set the table outside the veil and the lampstand across from the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And you shall put the table on the north side. Now, Don't pass that. Remember, we talked about the lampstand. We talked about the menorah. And we hear the Father telling them, this is where you go. This is how you arrange this place. This is what it's supposed to be like. He's very specific because I can only imagine what it looks like up there in the throne room. And you shall set the table on the north side. Here we are in the blue. You shall make a screen for the door of the tabernacle, woven of purple, blue, purple. Nobody proofreads these slides these days? A purple. Ignore it. Keep moving. And scarlet thread and fine woven linen made by a weaver. And you shall make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. And their hooks shall be gold. And you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. Now, we are going to also watch a video on these last scriptures from verse 15 to verse 37, learning a little bit more about these beams, these boards, these bars, the overlaid with gold, the extra boards on the corner. Let's take a look at a 3D representation of what this could have looked like.
And for the tabernacle, you shall make the boards of acacia wood standing upright. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and 1.5 cubits shall be the width of each board. 2 tenons shall be in each board for the binding one to another. Thus you shall make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And you shall make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side. You shall make 40 sockets of silver under 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there shall be 20 boards. And there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. For the far side of the tabernacle, westward, you shall make 6 boards. And you shall also make 2 boards for the 2 back corners of the tabernacle. They shall be coupled together at the bottom, and they shall be coupled together at the top by 1 ring. Thus it shall be for both of them. They shall be for the 2 corners. So there shall be 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And you shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, 5 bars for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle for the far side westward. The middle bar shall pass through the midst of the boards from end to end. You shall overlay the boards with gold, make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlay the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the tabernacle according to its pattern, which you were shown on the mountain. You shall make a veil woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen. It shall be woven with an artistic design of cherubim. You shall hang it upon the 4 pillars of acacia wood overlaid with gold, and their hooks shall be gold upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the clasps. Then you shall bring the ark of the testimony in there behind the veil, and the veil shall be divided for you between the holy place and the most holy. You shall put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy. You shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand across from the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south, and you shall put the table on the north side. You shall make a screen for the door of the tabernacle, woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine woven linen, made by a weaver. And you shall make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold. Their hooks shall be gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them.
All right, in today's art challenge we did for this month's art challenge of January is sending a photo of the thermometer of outside where you live. Now this is cool because this is from our family at YAHUAH down in Trinidad and Tobago, and you can tell right here it is hot. It is hot over here where they are. And so this is super cool because we have members of 144 Kids all across the earth. And so it's super cool to see where people are at and what winter looks like for them. So I love it. We love our Caribbean family. We love our family near the equator. So we appreciate you guys being part of 144 Kids. YAHUAH, we love you. Thank you so much for participating and attending in 144 Kids. All right, thanks for staying tuned to the end of the video.
We appreciate you. If you want to support this channel, support this ministry, you can check out some of the links below this video. This helps a ton. Or you can go to 144kids.org. 144kids.org.
Peace be with you. Thanks for watching. Shalom, and see you in the next one.